Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great. Today is another day after. I hope you had a great time with Amin Raja, who had just finished his show now. And how can you deny having a good time when you had such a good singer in the presenter as well? So I'm sure you loved his voice and his singing. I'm a big fan of his as well. So we have here now. Uh, Relax with Ershad on Relax Radio. So, as you know, let me get some housekeeping done and get it out of the way. So, every weeknight between 10 and midnight, it's Relax with Ershad on Relax Radio, and it's Monday to Friday. So, people who are already started listening to the show and watching through the Facebook Live as well. I mean, I know that's an added thing, and I always say normally you can listen to radio, but here you can even watch the radio. So we already have quite a few people on Facebook Live. It's great to see, when you start the show, you have some of your supporters, some listeners, some lovely people around. And we already have one of our regular listeners now, Saidat Hasinun Sifat. I can see you. Welcome to the show. I haven't seen the name of the rest of the people. That's why I couldn't say that. So once I see your name as well, I'll mention them. It's always great to give you a shout out. So, we have been discussing, as I found that it's very interesting in terms of talking to people and finding the solution to a lot of different issues that we face on our day-to-day life, because we try to talk about things that affects us directly in our life and in our daily transaction of life, or in our day-to-day life, different things we experience from the time we wake up, pick up our phone just from bedside table, or even sometimes if you leave it on your bed, just pick it up straight away, go onto your social media, start watching the post or the news feed. That's what we do. So, but still, having done all those things, despite having a lot of friends, probably a lot of messages, because we have so many different outlets now, a lot of different forums, and people who are connected through different things, like even WhatsApp is one of those things. You might have full of messages from different people. You have your own text, good old text messages. Probably you have a few missed calls as well. People might have tried to call you, because now we are connected from around the world, because sometimes I end up receiving calls like from all parts of the world. Sometimes it happens. And then you have Viber, you have WhatsApp, you have now people who are in Middle East, they have Bodem. So I understand you have a lot of options where you find that you are not alone. But end of the day, sometimes there are times when we sometimes think that we want to disappear. We feel like সবকিছু ছেড়ে আমরা অনেক দূরে কোথাও চলে যাব. But all we really want is to be found. যার মানে হচ্ছে যে আমরা আসলে চাই যে কেউ আমাদেরকে খুঁজে পাক. It means that we want to connect with people. It doesn't have to be someone very special. But at the same time, that person is very special. Why? Even if that person is not your partner or someone else that you can call your own, but at the same time, it can be your own friend. It could be anyone from your family, from your relatives. So we sometimes think that we want to disappear, but basically what we are trying to do, that we are acting out of the urge of our need to be found. So the question today is, how lonely are we now? So even though we have all the technologies and everything around us, and that makes our life so easy, we can connect to people through different social media, different networks. You can talk to people straight away whenever you feel like talking to them. Back in the days, just remember the days when people couldn't even communicate for months on end. They had to. I mean, I'm talking about the time. Just imagine when people had to communicate with someone else through letters, where we didn't have the postal service. But then the postal service came, which felt like a blessing, that you could get a letter from any part of the world probably within a month. But even then, they had to wait for a month. But now, when you feel like talking to someone, hearing someone's voice, straight away you can call them, you can FaceTime them. So these are the blessings. But the thing is, that's interesting to note that the technologies that has brought us so close to each other, at the same time, the same technology slowly pushing us away from each other, from the close ones especially. The people who are close to us now through technology sometimes we get far, far away from those people who are close to us. So this is something that we can think about, and this is one of the reasons why I think the loneliness is getting higher and higher. And basically, I was listening to something yesterday where there's a statistics that says this: the loneliest of the people, can you guess, are the people between the age of 18 to 25. So I think this is some of the thing we can really tackle, and would like to know from you. Babu Bablu had said, "Hi, Mr. Ershad, I missed your show yesterday." Yeah, you definitely did. I haven't seen you around for a while, I guess. It feels like a long time. So I hope you're doing great, Babu Bablu. And today we are talking about, and we are asking the same question to everyone. Do you feel that you are properly connected to the people? Because there are two things. It's good to be alone, because when people are being alone is good in a sense. You see that great scientists and inventor or many great minds in the world, they had been alone. Alone is like, because when you find yourself in a place where no one can understand how you think and how things you perceive, and you can't even share with other people. But this is the time when I always say that this kind of being alone and this kind of being aloof sometimes is creative, and it's good for people who are totally in a different position in terms of what they think. So I think when someone is alone, when someone is lonely, there's a vast difference. When someone is lonely, it doesn't come from not having people around. You can be lonely even when you have hundreds of people surrounding you. Saida Tahsinun Sifat, hello Ershad Bhaiya, how are you? I'm great, Bhaiya. How are you doing? That's Saida Tahsinun Sifat from Dhaka. I'm doing great. Probably I should call you Appi. I mean, this is one of the things people always say, Apu, Appi, or Appa. So Sifat, thanks for your wishes, thanks for your greetings. I hope you're doing great. And if you'd like to join in the conversation, and we can discuss about how the loneliness is affecting your life, or whether you think that you're lonely. Do you feel like, I don't know your surrounding, I don't know what life or how life is treating you. So I'm throwing this question to everyone, to Babu Bablu, to Sifat, and to the rest of the other people whom I can see in terms of numbers, but I don't see their name. So welcome to today's show. It's Relax with Ershad, and we are asking the question to ourselves: how lonely are we now, despite all the blessings around us in terms of the technology that brings us close to each other? But are we properly connected? Because the human instinct is that we want to be connected, the urge for connection. And there's another thing that dominates all our actions. Whatever we do, it's based around one instinct of getting connected to people or remaining connected, and our fear of rejection. I always say that, and this is true. This has been found. So loneliness, what I was saying, being alone and being lonely is two different things. Being alone can be when you want to be in a place where you find that you need that space for yourself. So this is your own space, and this is you're creating for yourself intentionally. But lonely is that sometimes, even with all the urges of being connected or stay or remaining connected to people, that sometimes we find that there is a fundamental mismatch between the relation we have and the relation we want. So it's a fundamental mismatch between the relationship we already have, but unfortunately this is not what you want. So that's when loneliness strikes. So we all want to get connected. We all want to get this perceived popularity in the social media. So where you see that you have so many friends, you're going out having fun, every weekend night you're going out and staying late till the morning and coming home, everyone, and then you're posting all the pictures on Instagram, on Facebook, or everywhere else. Okay, I have a caller from Bangladesh, I guess. Let's see who I have. Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, who am I talking to?
You're talking to Rahmi
Oh,
from
Rami.
Bangladesh.
Rami, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, great, thank you. So Rami, is it your first time? I haven't spoken to you on my show before. So is this the first time you're calling?
Yeah, I have talked to Raja before.
Okay, so you spoke already on the previous show today, or it was before some other time?
Not today. It was yesterday and like more than day before.
Okay, great, great. So Rami, how you keeping? How you doing?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. It's all
Great.
going good. How have you been?
I'm doing great, thank you. So today we are talking about how lonely are we now. So let me ask that question directly to you, since you have called. Do you feel that you are? I mean, do you have any situation in your life what makes you think that you could be probably feeling a little lonelier, not alone? Because sometimes even when we have hundreds of people around us, we can still be lonely. So do you feel anything like that?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm going through right now. I have a lot of people around, but
Mm-hmm.
I do feel low.
Okay. And what makes you feel lonely like that? What's the main reason? Why do you feel that you have all these people, but still, why do you feel you're lonely?
I don't really know. I wish I knew the answer. Things would have been much easier for me
Mm-hmm.
then.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just there's this certain connection that I don't get, and I look for it. So it's not like just romantically or something.
Mm-hmm.
For
Makes sense.
like I want to have this meaningful conversation with someone
Mm-hmm.
or anything that I wouldn't have someone to talk to. So
But
that's
Rami,
something.
can I ask you something? Say, for example,
Uh,
how often do you find yourself that you want to, when you crave this connection with people? It could be friends, colleagues, or any special friend or anything. How often do you take the first step in terms of, say, for example, you probably have a colleague at work and you'd like to, or a coworker, you want to get connected to that particular person. And do you ever feel that you have taken the first step in terms of asking her or him that, hey, would you like to go out for a coffee and sit down and there's a concert we'd like to go and see or something like that? Have you ever done that?
Um, I have, but
Mm-hmm.
there have been a few. It's just I'm not one of those people who would not do something that they want to do or would feel shy about it.
Okay.
I might, but I would take the first step mostly.
Mm. So,
But then again,
yep.
and I regret to take that first step. So
Why do you regret?
I
What makes you regret?
um, sometimes it's just not how we like. I expect things to be. It wouldn't be as amazing. The time wouldn't be as good as I wanted it to be or I hoped it to be.
But do you
So
start with a mindset that, say, for example, you are asking probably a colleague of yours, because they're probably, I think there's a place called Jatra, right, in Dhaka.
yeah,
So
it's
say
beautiful.
there's a concert every now and then. There are a lot of concerts there because I've been to
Yeah.
one myself last few months back. So the thing is, when you ask someone, hey, there's a concert, I know that that gig is going to happen, would you like to join me? But before
Uh,
you ask, do you already have a preconceived idea or an expectation that this is what's going to happen? Once we get there, we'll have a lot of fun, and then we'll go out, then probably we'll have dinner, or before that we probably have a dinner and then we go to Jatra. So how do you plan that? I mean, even though I'm promoting Jatra now,
I
I'm mentioning them on radio. Anyway.
no, I don't have anything set in my mind. I'm gonna do this and that. I wait for things to happen.
Mm,
Just it's never planned, and mostly whenever I plan things, it never goes that way.
yeah.
I've stopped doing. It.
I- I-
But
I-
yeah,
And when you look for that person, I mean, one thing is that I think one of the ways to avoid those situations where you're saying that most of the times when you, even when you plan it yourself, even though you're not the person to normally play the first fiddle, but even when you do that, sometimes it doesn't turn out to be the way you planned it or you anticipated. But
exactly.
probably expectations, even though you're telling me that you really don't expect it that much, but are you too sure about that? Because normally when you're going out for a dinner, because our expectations, where they come
For
from,
our humans, we definitely get that. I get
yeah,
your point.
like
But then again,
from your experience, like when you go out for a dinner with someone, or a lunch or whatever that is, we have, from our experience, we know that this is what is going to happen. Like we're going to have this chat and we'll have apparently good food, whatever that is. But main thing is that you'd like
yeah,
to have good time, that's all. So sometimes
exactly.
it doesn't turn out to be the way because you have already have that, we call it schema. In our mind we have this experience that has already programmed us in a certain way that we start perceiving and we even visualize, oh, this is how I see myself. And when you don't
Yeah.
see the picture matching, then definitely you do. That's one thing. And okay, tell me one thing. So when you feel that you want to have that meaningful connection with anyone, that could be anyone, what do you look in that person?
I would look for, like, again, I'm saying this. It's definitely not something that has to be romantic. It's
Exactly.
anything.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Look for something, not really common. I would
Mm.
look for something that we have to spark, or we have to have that mutual understanding
Mm.
that we can talk about anything and everything without like, without thinking about,
A
like, we
sense
can
of
talk about,
safety and security that I
yeah,
can
yeah.
rely on that person. I can trust that person. So you have that trust
And
for
then
that person. Yeah.
sometimes we have a lot of thoughts in our minds that could be really random and
Mm.
absurd. Just say it out loud to that person. Just say that to that person. Like, I feel like French fries are made like this.
Mm.
Why are they made like this? Just random conversations like that.
Yeah, because
So,
why I'm asking this question, yesterday, one of our callers, she called and said, normally we look for similar minded or like minded people. But this is
yeah, but
we do, right? But problem is that most of the time, this is where we look for the similarities, but everyone is not similar in terms of how you think, but where we are similar, we are all human beings. We all laugh, we all cry, we all can get sad sometimes. But these are the places where we should try to get connected. So we have to take, first of all, probably, rather than being that similar position, because first of all you put yourself in the position of that person. Say whoever you're trying to connect. I mean, from my personal experience, I can tell you, sometimes we perceive that person from when you look from outside. We sometimes, from our experience, okay, if a person talks like that, if a person works like that, probably this is what they would be. But many times I have been proven wrong as well. So
yeah, man, same here.
yeah, so when you make that effort to know a person, take genuine interest in someone, and focus on rather than the common interest, rather than what is different between the two of you, probably that's a good start as well.
Yeah, that's a brilliant start, honestly.
I-
If you think, just keep it blank and make things happen.
yeah,
Like,
keep
think,
an open mind, rather than, and sometimes the spark, as you're saying, it doesn't happen because, like, you could be an introvert person. From what you're saying, it sounds like that you are not that extrovert, or it could be just 50-50. So,
uh,
are you? Okay. I'm just.
I am quite,
Sorry. Correct me if I'm wrong.
no, I am quite extrovert. I would always be the person who would talk to you. Like, if you're just sitting there beside me, I would like to have a conversation. I would just say it. Even if you're not interested, I'm gonna be like, okay, you're not interested, but I'm gonna make the first step. That's what I do, and I like to be the person who stands out, and all of that. I am a bit of an extrovert, but it's just there are a few things that I can't really talk about to
Okay.
everybody.
Tell me one thing. What's your definition of an extrovert? I mean, what you feel, or what you feel that an extrovert is truly, because there are things that sometimes we feel that we're an extrovert. To be honest, I don't know about
Or
myself because I'm on radio talking to you now, and you can see me on Facebook Live. It seems that this guy definitely would be an extrovert, right? Should be. So,
I don't think
what?
so.
Yeah. What's your definition? Tell me of an extrovert.
An extrovert would be someone who's not scared of speaking,
Mm-hmm.
to public speaking, or just just in, like, in general, who's not scared to open up, or I don't know the exact definition.
No, I'm not. I'm not really trying to get that textbook definition as well. But the thing is that
Um,
extrovert, what they say normally, because I have been through this kind of processes, so I have come across those situations where clinically research things that I have been fortunate enough to know some of the things. So they say in terms of extrovertism, I mean, when someone is extroversion as well, when someone is extrovert, thing is, as you said, that going forward and talking to breaking the ice in terms of starting the conversation, sometimes probably is not
no,
main trait
no.
that you can say the person is extrovert, because sometimes that's a requirement that they have to do unwillingly as well. But you'll see in a room when you're with an extrovert, they are the ones who are craving for all the attention. And sometimes without they are the ones who are doing things without thinking what's going to happen, and they'll just jump into it. They'll just jump into a conversation or make a comment that would probably make them a little embarrassed a bit later of what because they don't really think. They're not that conscious sometimes. So
Mm-hmm.
so many of the people, say for example, even for myself, many of the times, probably I shouldn't give that secret away. Okay, let's keep that hush hush. So uh, in terms of the extrovert thing, as you're saying, so we take it even if you're extrovert, but
Mm-hmm.
taking the first step without any kind of expectation, probably, and trying to give that person, since you are genuinely interested in terms of, it feels like that person could be the one you could have a meaningful conversation with. So probably give that person a little bit of time. Sometimes it would be helpful, probably. And
Yeah.
another thing is that what they say, normally we try to find all our happiness, all the look, anytime you do something just for yourself, what do you do normally when you want to feel happy, when you're down and you want to cheer yourself up, lift your spirit? What do you do? What's your methods? People do a lot of different things. What do you do?
For the first thing would be music. I would listen to something that makes me feel good. It could
Mm-hmm.
be a song as well, and sometimes it could be a really like a hard rock.
Mm-hmm.
So I can tell her, "Yeah, I'm not feeling good," and she's gonna say something weird, and I'm going to laugh about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's
So you had someone, at least you can trust her to say something weird. So that's a good thing that you know that, okay, this person, invariably, that she should lift my spirit up. But
yeah.
the thing is that what they say, when you listen to music, how do you listen to it? I mean, you probably put your headphone on and just listen. So they say these kind of activities normally when you're a giver, because every
Uh-huh.
time we do something, when we feel down, we go out or probably put some makeup on. Thing is that every time we're doing it just for ourselves most of the time or with ourselves. But
Yeah.
say the same thing when you're listening to music. When you find someone, say for example, we are going to a catch 22 situation. When I say that, it's like a paradox. Finding someone, that's where we're trying to find out how to find. And then I'm already saying that when you have someone that you can that you feel like.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah. Yeah.
when
I
you
do that.
videos or funny videos, I know. Do you share them as well? Because we have this thing like we want to
Yeah.
share it with other people, right?
Yeah, I'm always looking forward to doing this. I'm like, I see a video and there, I have a few friends, and I'm gonna go like, see, you guys have to see this. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So that's
And
the
that's
communal thing. So when you're
yeah,
making, you're not laughing yourself, you're just laughing with someone else as well. So when
yeah,
you,
and it's even like
yeah,
more funny. People are laughing with you,
mm,
or just a text, ha 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 ha.
mm-hmm.
Even that feels
Yeah,
to that person.
exactly. That suddenly you feel that because whenever you share something with someone, the communal activity, and it lights up a particular, say for example, especially music, when people share music with each other, because whenever you're listening to music, a part of your brain lights up, and that
Yeah,
creates bonding among people. So that's one of the
yeah.
things. So always trying to find the happiness or the fun or anything that you're doing, even if you make the first step, take the first step in terms of, say, I mean, asking. They say that go around, or you feel like, just take the first step and ask. A person is, I'm not saying it's something romantic, but even in a friendly way, a girl or a boy, man or a woman, whoever that is. So I think that's a good start when you first try to do normally that's another misconception, because most of the time people, when they fall romantically for someone, it's always that shallow thing, just straight away, oh, someone, look at that person, so good looking.
But there's
Yeah,
another thing. There's a you can't. When people say that we fall in love with the personality, it's true. We do fall in love with the personality.
we do,
But
yeah.
when you're one, the first thing you see is their looks, and sadly, that's the thing that has been going on, and no one would actually. Like right now in our generation, to be honest, I'm in my early 20s.
Mm.
Really, no one really tries to look into a person like, "Hey, I should approach her,"
Mm.
and that's something that it really bothers me. But that's always there, and that I don't know. It's just never. It's always gonna
No,
be
I mean,
there.
we
That's what.
have to accept that always the first impression that lasts. So just imagine
Yeah,
whenever you are going to see someone, go to a party or somewhere, we always want to make an impression in terms of,
yeah,
because that's the impression people have of you. There's no harm in it. But end of the
yeah.
day, even if someone gets impressed by the, I mean, that's a good thing. It's kind of a compliment. It's a like
Mm.
indirect compliment, and it should make you happy, because your dopamine is like getting that signal. Oh, how many likes I'm getting on Facebook? It's almost like that. So you are feeling good about that. That makes you confident. So you can thank that person even without saying it. Me, but now the question comes whether how you like me if I like that too. I mean, you have
Exactly.
that option. So that's a good start
Um,
too. So we found that Rami is trying to find that special person she can connect to, and you are in that journey, or have you already? I mean, do you feel like you have tried it enough, or you have to try something different or something else?
I think I have to try something like more, some more. Not enough. Like I haven't tried.
The first step without intimidating the other person. Sometimes we can be like, okay, let's do that. I'm ready to do that. I'm going to a concert and I love this band. This band is amazing. Without asking, hey, do you like the band too? And we're like, no, I'm not really into it. Okay. Okay, probably not a good idea. So, that's how it can happen too. So,
Oh, I had a question for
please,
you.
please go ahead. Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, here.
I I hear all the some of the shows. To be very honest, not all.
Mm-hmm.
But I always like there's this one question that always comes to my mind. I see there are not a lot of listeners or a lot of viewers, or
Mm-hmm.
probably listeners, more listeners than
Yeah.
viewers. I see a few viewers. So sometimes I really wonder that why do you guys like come here every day and like try to be there for all of the people? Sometimes people are not even responding, they're not
Mm-hmm.
even calling, trying to indulge, but you guys are still there trying to. Sometimes you guys are having conversation with yourselves,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm still wondering that why you guys don't need to do this, but you guys are still doing it. Like,
Okay.
what's the
Yeah, that's one of the things. Very good question. This would help me to answer a lot of the answers. I mean, give you a lot of answers. First of all, um, if you, I mean, I'm not sure in Bangladesh there is a proper talk radio at the moment. I think the concept is not there yet, because when we understand radio, we think that okay, either we have to interview someone, there have to be has to be live music or something like that. But talk radio in the West is a thing where you would find someone is talking in the middle of the night. Some trust me, in London we have a radio station called London's Biggest Conversation, or Britain's Biggest Conversation at the moment. So what they do normally, I find I tune into the channel even when I'm driving in the middle of the night at 3 o'clock. There's someone just talking to himself, and there might be callers who would call in the middle of the night, but they have like millions of listeners. So what happens is that people who are thing, to be honest, to be more connected to people. And sometimes
yeah,
when you see that person who's talking whatever he's doing, because whatever I'm doing live now, I'm moving my hands, making gestures, and taking my cup of coffee, you can see that, and this is connection.
yeah,
So engagement is very important, and even when we talk to ourselves, this comes from the passion as well, to be honest. Everyone is doing it. Say, I mean, Raja has been doing this talk radio thing from late 90s. I've been on television during that time. He this television thing was there, people could see me, but I found that I couldn't make that connection, because even though I'm doing the live shows, there's no way for me. People
Mm-hmm.
would phone in, but there's always restriction. Okay, after it's like there's no restriction. I have 2 hours, but in the meantime, I'm just spending, sharing my experience, learning from you as well. So that's one of the things. But the passion, there comes the question of loneliness. Even though some of us probably not do that from that point of view, but
Uh-huh.
to beat loneliness, another thing, if you have any kind of creative outlet, say for example, I'm into music as well myself. I mean, hardcore. I'm into music. I had my good training. I'm a performer. I do a lot of different things with orchestras. But this is
Uh-huh.
another thing where I sit down, talk to people, sharing, listening to people. Trust me, all my day, even because I
Yeah,
come
I
here.
wonder.
Yeah,
I
please.
always this. Like I wonder that there could be times when you've had a bad day or a
Mm,
bad you've heard a bad news,
mm-hmm.
but you were just talking normally and stuff. That's really, I don't know,
Yeah,
inspirational
this
to
is
be
one of
honest.
the ways to take yourself out of that because your creative outlet would always take you out of any kind of loneliness. Because we become lonely when we find ourselves in a space where there's no one
Yeah.
else who would understand where thinking about any trouble at the moment. I don't think so. I don't have the time because I'm thinking about this new experience of knowing a person I haven't spoken before, and you haven't spoken to me before, spoken with me before, and now this experience that we are sharing, learning from each. So this is one of the formats as well. How the talk radio
Mhm.
runs, you'll find people are talking from a perspective of a social awareness thing, because there are a lot of things we need to talk about. I feel like because I had
Yeah.
the privilege of, or because I've been lucky enough, fortunate enough to do some kind of life coaching stuff as well, apart from my studies in law, music, and things like that. But I've done those things, so I felt that from the point of view, I've seen people. I think we need help, even including myself. As well, sometimes there are times in our life when we feel like reaching out and making that connection, and I think when we bring this topic, discuss about that, it helps. I hope I answered your question, even though that's a long answer, I know.
No, no, no. I completely it does. I get you because I do this too. Sometimes when I've had a bad day or something, I always look forward to 10 minutes of me writing something down.
Mm-hmm.
Because I write, sometimes and it really helps, and it feels good. It
Yeah.
feels good to me. I'm doing it for anyone. I'm doing it for myself. But you guys are there for us.
In any part of the world. Today I'm talking to you. And there's someone, right, that's how it is. Because you can see me because I'm there on the, as a public face and where people can tune in and see me on Facebook Live. And I have many of my shows lying around on different places on YouTube or somewhere else. But the life which is unique in their own way, but I didn't know. But today, while I'm talking to you now, I'm getting to know a new person. So this is how day in day out. And talk radio is something that when you have regular presenters, this is one of the formats as well where you see them. They're doing it probably 5 nights a week or 5 days a week. So because this is how we do the engagement, yeah, that helped us definitely. Because when I used to do my TV shows, I had to do my live shows probably once a week, even though there was a live musical show. But the thing is that I had
Yeah.
to wait for another 6 days to see them again to go
Yeah.
and perform. And do you remember back in the days, like even when there's a drama serial you're following, If
Yeah, yeah.
you're like, oh, when the next episode would come, what's gonna happen? I mean,
Like,
just
yeah.
imagine. Uh, it was a big thing. Everyone was following different TV
Game of
serials. Game
or
of
like we
Thrones,
have
exactly. Game of Thrones. Okay, when the first season I finished, I was like, when the second season is coming out, I need to see that. But now,
I,
when I finish a topic, I'm coming the next day, and we can pick up the thread from that, and same topic we can keep going on. So that's amazing.
yeah.
So Rami, it's
Thank you.
nice talking to you today, and
Thank,
it's a great. I hope we had some kind of. I mean, probably it was helpful to you, even helpful to me every
yeah.
time I talk and share the same thing. I learned something from everyone I talk to. So thanks to you.
Yeah. Thank you very much as well. It was amazing talking to you.
Oh, thank you, Rami. You have a good night, and probably at some point I'll play some music as well. So, do you have any particular song in Bangla that you like? It could be one of your rock Bengali songs or any song that you like.
Not a Bangla song or not a rock song. It's
Mm-hmm.
there's this center on YouTube. It's from Nescafe Basement, a
Mm.
Pakistani. There's a channel on YouTube. They
Yeah.
have
Is it
mentors.
Fire TV or something they had back in the days?
No, no, not that. The channel is called Nescafe Basement,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and they
Mm-hmm.
the basic the instrumental is called the instrumental of Adat. You know the song Adat, the
Yeah, yeah.
Hindi song.
Uh huh.
They the instrumental. Please, even if you don't play it, listen to that song.
Okay.
The instrumental, it's beautiful, and it's just gonna hit you. That's
Wow.
why.
I'm gonna have a listen, definitely. I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
put some music on for the radio, then I'm gonna sit down and listen to that. Okay, let's try that.
And I'm gonna like see the rest of the show. So do let me know if you like the song.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely
Oh,
update. Okay.
thank you very much.
Okay, Rami, and my best wishes to your mom as well. I mean,
Yeah.
she's one of your support, so yeah, definitely. Cheers for her.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem. Have a good night. Speak to you later again.
Bye.
Bye. Good night. So we had Rami from Bangladesh. It was a nice conversation, and this is how we are trying to find out. So you can pick up the phone 07852473473, and then we can discuss how lonely we are. We have Tamanna Siddiqui. Tamanna, we have spoken to yesterday, our sports presenter on radio from Bangladesh. Hello, Ershad, how are you doing? I'm doing great, Tamanna. Noor Hussain is watching. Baubablu, the best way out of loneliness is to start with something small like interactions or talk to a cashier or a friend or driver. Yeah, if you're taking an Uber, definitely, yeah. Or a friend, definitely. So that's the thing. Reaching out always helps. Nadia Nihat is watching, or I hope she's there. Quite an expert in terms of her IT field, and Shoikot Borua from Bangladesh, one of my friends as well. So they are there. They are on Facebook Live. So nice to see you, people. As I was saying, our topic, what we are discussing, is we sometimes think we want to disappear. মাঝে মাঝে মনে হয় যে হারিয়ে যায় কোথাও আর ভালো লাগে না কোনো কিছু but all we really want is to be found যে what we really want just someone to find us in terms of whichever position we are in জীবনের যে জায়গায় আছি না কেন সেখান থেকে যাতে আমাকে খুঁজে পাওয়া যায় যে আমি সেরকম আমি এমন একটা জায়গায় আছি যে এমন একটা জায়গায় বা এমন একটা বোধ আমার মধ্যে কাজ করছে সেই বোধ থেকে আমাকে যাতে সেই মানুষটা বুঝতে পারে সে যেই হোক একটা বন্ধু হতে পারে এবং স্পেশাল কোনো রিলেশন হতে পারে কোনো পার্টনার হতে পারে even though what Rami was saying in terms of romantically involved relationship it doesn't really matter so the question is we have all those urges very big question to know so people who are already there with us I would like you to request just dial in the number and get in touch with us And I hope, in the meantime, if we have any issues with Facebook Live, I would like to apologize for that. And we are trying to fix that if there's an issue. And in the meantime, while I fix that, how about we listen to some good music? And I already have some recommendations, but probably I'll have to play something Bengali, something that I would really like, and something you would like too. So your number to call is 07 852 473 473. And yeah, now I hope people can see me too. We have reconnected on Facebook. Can everyone let me know that you can see me on Facebook Live and you can hear everything clearly? Please let me know if anyone is listening, because I had some kind of confusion in terms of there could be an issue with the connection of the on the Facebook Live. So please let me know. So yeah, today's topic is, how lonely do you think you are? It's not about being alone. That's a good thing, because most of the between the relations we have, the thing is, they say loneliness is as risky as having, to our health basically, as having 15 cigarettes a day. So can you imagine how bad it is? Because it can give you diabetes, cancer, heart problems, a lot of different problems can arise from your loneliness, and this is very important. And as I was saying, I came across this statistics yesterday where they were saying that on a radio, basically on a show I was listening to, and that's what made me think, yeah, this is a good topic, what we should discuss about, because this is something that is not a community specific thing. It's specific in terms of it happens to people. It can happen to anyone under the sun, wherever you are based in, wherever you live, wherever you belong to, which kind of family you come, it doesn't really matter. And you can be hit by loneliness at any point of your life. So I believe it's a good time for us to listen to some good old music. And if anyone would like to request something, you always can do that. Your number is 07852 473 473. And I was thinking about some old songs from Bangladesh. And as I was going and revisiting those songs, because back in the 80s, late 80s or 50s, we definitely had good songs. Then in the 60s, 70s, 80s. But the thing is, some of the songs we had back in the late 90s, 80s are the good times, the golden times of some of the music that inspired us, and those music are quite memorable. So in that line, I'd like to play one song many of you might have heard, or the newer generations probably haven't heard yet. It's a song by the band Arc. I mean, they're still, I think they're operating, but back in the days, that was the lineup that everyone were inspired by. Everyone, it was like a breath of fresh air in Bangladesh band music. So let's have a listen to this beautiful song by Arc, where the vocalist is none other than Hassan. So our topic today is, we are trying to find out, how lonely do you think you are, and why, and how do you tackle that, or how do you think we should tackle it? I mean, your suggestions are much welcome. Let's do that. And in the meantime, go back to our music.
এখনো ভুলে না রে যা রে যা রে যা উড়ে যা পাখি তারে বলে যা সে যেন আমারে এখনো ভুলে না রে যা রে যা রে যা দিগন্তের এক ঠিকানা যেখানে সীমানা বন্ধুরা আমার তেমনি ব্যবধান এমনিতেই অবসান আজ আগানা বলে যা উড়ে যা উড়ে যা উড়ে যা যারে যা উড়ে যা পাখি তারে বলে যা সে যেন আমারে কখনো ভুলে না রে যা রে যা রে যা উড়ে যা পাখি তারে বলে যা সে যেন আমারে কখনো ভুলে না রে যা রে যা রে যা চাঁদের আলোয় সূর্যের তেজ যেমনি যাই না পাওয়া সূর্য কিরণে রক্ত বিরহে চাঁদের সুরলি হয় না তেমনি পাই পৃথিবী জানে বন্ধু পায়ে হৃদয় জুড়ে স্পষ্ট দু চোখের বিষ সীমানা পেছনে রেখেছি ফেলে এখন তো আমি অন্ধ হয়েছি তোমারই বিরহে যারে যা উড়ে যা পাখি তারে বলে যা সে যেন আমারে কখনো ভুলে না রে যা রে যা রে যা উড়ে যা পাখি তারে বলে যা সে যেন আমারে কখনো ভুলে না রে যা রে যা রে যা যারে 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 না হে যারে যা
What a lovely song, Jari form, and I've played some of his newer songs after a long listening to the song. Exactly, Tamanna. So has had given us back in the days, like Hassan had Charidike Utshab, that song, Eto Koshto Keno Bhalobashaye. Then he had Bangladesh, which is a very good song. Then Sweetie was another number, which was really good. So I think, yeah, I always try to bring those songs from the late 90s. And also, I have come across, in terms of trying to find new music, I have come across some very interesting songs. I have seen a rap and its reaction videos. I don't know what kind of songs people are making these days and what they're thinking when they make that. And the song is called Level Nai. So if you'd like to find out about that song, go to YouTube and type Level Nai. There's someone who's not on their own level. So that's what the song is all about. And I don't know what kind of lingo is that and where they come, I mean, where they find all this idea, how they invent this out of thin air, this a song or an idea for a song. And would you believe the song says that your life has no meaning, and that's in Bangla basically. Your life is no meaning. My shoe is more expensive than your life. Can you imagine a lyrics like that when someone talks about that you are not on the same level? I mean, I don't know how twisted is that and where we are. So why do you think we shouldn't be lonely? So this kind of songs, trust me, it makes me creep and shake in my. I don't know. It's really hard. It would turn people or people who have good listeners and good music, lovers of good music, it would turn them in their grave probably. Anyway, I don't want to criticize anyone, but I hope there are options or people could have tried come up with better things where we are trying to make you aware of your self-worth, and someone else is saying my shoe is more expensive or than the value of your life. I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So we have the topic we are talking about today. Sometimes we feel like that we want to disappear, but what we really want is to be found. And I'm asking the question today, how lonely do you think you are? And I made it clear that it's the loneliness and being alone is not two things. Being alone is really a good thing in a sense, and because you are in your own zone or express your creativity, and you can have a creative outlet where no one else can connect. So that's probably a place that you are just being yourself and you are a lone person. Just being alone, or sometimes is intentional. But loneliness is something, as I was saying, that this is a discrepancy or a mismatch between the relations or the connections you have or the connections you want. So as I was saying to Rami, who called from Bangladesh, that being able to make that first versus quantity, because you might have hundreds of friends, probably you make plans to go out with them every weekend and then hang out, and then you eat out, and then you have taken all those selfies and you post them on social media, Instagram, Facebook, or what other social medias you feel like. You share them. But the thing is, unless those friends you feel like you can truly connect to them, there is hardly any meaning to that. Because if you are too bothered, if you're too worried about your perceived popularity on social media, that doesn't create any real connection. Because the thing is, you are doing it for people's perceived idea of yourself. But what about yourself? What you're thinking about yourself? You are doing something what other people think of you or would think of you. You just want to have the temporary dopamine rush in your brain. But the main thing happens when you find that real connection where you can be truly satisfied, even though people can't see you on social media, people don't like your videos or your post or anything that you do there or your pictures, you're still happy and you're in a secure place. Because okay, we have someone already online. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Ershad.
Hello, Mr. Haider. How are you doing, Munirul Haider?
Yes, I'm pretty good, alhamdulillah. Much better.
Great. Much better. Okay. Okay. Yeah. You have. This is your way of much better.
No, because that's cold and flu.
Okay. How's it going? I mean, are you recovering now?
Yeah, pretty much, alhamdulillah.
Very good. So in that recovery, how supported do you feel? Do you have people around you who had been there even though people around you?
Yes, I'm fortunate enough. I have.
Did you say fortunate or unfortunate? Okay, fortunately, right?
No, yes, I'm fortunate enough. I have plenty of friends and family.
Those people you are surrounded by.
Yes.
Do you feel that that's good enough for you in terms of keeping you from that feeling of loneliness, that even though I have all those people around, or have you ever found yourself in a position where you found that I have all those people around me but still at times
No, I never, to be honest with you, I never.
You never
I'm
feel
so
lonely.
lucky.
Okay. So what's your secret?
I'm so
Tell me.
lucky.
Why how can you maintain that position? Tell us. Share that secret with people who are struggling with it.
First of all, forget about virtual friendship.
Mhm.
Get more physical, like face to face.
Mhm. In
Like,
person, yeah.
yeah, and another thing is like accept the reality, because sometimes if আপনার এটা কি বলা যে মানে আমাদের যে আশেপাশে যে জিনিসগুলো ঘটে ওটা নিয়ে আমরা সামটাইমস অরিড হয়ে যাই, টু মাচ অরিড হয়ে যায়, মানে আমরা অ্যাকসেপ্ট করতে পারি না। তো যে
কিরকম
অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্সের যে ব্যাপারটা,
একটা এক্সাম্পল যদি দিতে পারো তাহলে দ্যাট বি গুড।
I couldn't give you like example, but I think it's more as acceptance. But আপনার আশেপাশে যেটা ঘটে, anything like happening in your life, or personal life, could be friends and family. So the acceptance এর ব্যাপারটা যে like sometimes for example I believe like someone very close to you, like past away or যেটাকে বলে মারা গেছে, এটা কিন্তু এটা কি রিয়েলিটি, এটা আপনাকে মেনে নিতেই হবে। আপনি যতই স্যাড হন বা লাইক যেটাই করেন, আপনি মন খারাপ করেন, কিন্তু এটা যদি আপনি মানে রিয়েলিটি হিসেবে মেনে নিতে পারেন না, আমরা প্রত্যেকটা মানুষের একটা টাইমে গিয়ে আমাদের
something you're saying that something that's inevitable, যেটা হবেই, হ্যাঁ, যেটাকে আটকানো যাবে না, হ্যাঁ, সেই জিনিসটা
you can change the fate, or you can change the situation, or you can,
তো সেই ধরনের সিচুয়েশনে যেই ঘটনাটা ঘটবে, তো সেটার ক্ষেত্রে you have to grieve, একটা দুঃখ বোধের জায়গা তো আছেই, সেটা করার পরে you can't just linger on that, you have to move on. That's what you're saying.
obviously মনে করেন যে একটা মানুষের রিলেশনশিপ ভেঙে যাচ্ছে, কিন্তু সে ইয়ার্স আফটার কেউ ড্রাগস এডিক্টেড হচ্ছে, কেউ অন্য কিছুতে জড়াচ্ছে, ক্রাইমে জড়াচ্ছে,
এটা কারণ আছে অনেক কিছু, যেমন ড্রাগ এডিকশন অথবা if someone gets into substance abuse or anything like that. What happens, say for example, after a relationship or any kind of friendship that's broken, because people most of the time get depressed, and I don't know why it happens all the time. Whenever I talk to you, we start talking about Devdash a lot. So দেখা যাচ্ছে যে এই ধরনের সিচুয়েশন হয় যখন আমরা আমাদের সুখের ব্যাপারটা, আমাদের সুখ অথবা আমাদের দুঃখ সবকিছু একটা মানুষের উপর নির্ভরশীল করে ফেলি, যে তখন এই জায়গাটা যার উপর নির্ভরশীল করা হয় তার জন্য প্রেশার, আবার যে নির্ভরশীল হয়ে পড়ছে মানুষটার উপরে তার সুখের বা দুঃখের জন্য, সেটা তার জন্য ক্ষতি করে, এই জন্যে যে এই মানুষটা তো মারাও যেতে পারে। আমি বললাম যে রিলেশনশিপ ব্রেকআপ হচ্ছে না, মানুষটা যদি মারা যায়, দেন হোয়াট ইউ গোনা ডু? উড ইউ থিঙ্ক দ্যাট ইউর লাইফ উড এন্ড? কারণ কি আমাদের সবসময় যে বলে যে হ্যাপিনেসটা ইফ ইউ ফাইন্ড ইট উইদিন ইয়োর সেলফ, ইফ ইউ স্টার্ট লাভিং ইয়োর সেলফ দ্যাট মাচ, এখানে আমরা যখন একজনকে ভালোবাসি সেখানে একটা স্বার্থপরতার জায়গা তো থেকেই যায়, ঠিক না? তাহলে ওখানে একটা স্বার্থপরতার জায়গা আছে, আমরা আমাদের নিজের বলবো যে একটা প্রয়োজনীয়তা থেকেই কাজটা করি, কিন্তু এন্ড অফ দ্য ডে এটা করা সত্ত্বেও এবার সেখান থেকে গ্রো হওয়ার জায়গাটা কি, যে ইউ ফাইন্ড ইউর হ্যাপিনেস, ফার্স্ট অফ অল ইউ মেক শিওর দ্যাট ইউ লাভ ইউর সেলফ এনাফ অ্যান্ড ফাইন্ড ইউর হ্যাপিনেস ইন ইউর সেলফ, অ্যান্ড দেন ইউ ক্যান মেক দ্যাট পারসন ইউ আর লাভিং অ্যান্ড ইউ ফিল দ্যাট ইউ ওয়ান্ট দ্য লাভ ফ্রম, ইউ ক্যান মেক দ্যাম হ্যাপি টু। আই মিন দিস ইজ ওয়ান অফ দ্য সিক্রেটস। প্লিজ।
আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে টেকনোলজি, মানে আমরা অনেক অ্যাডভান্স হচ্ছে আপনার ইন টার্মস অফ টেকনোলজি, কিন্তু এই জিনিসটা আমাদেরকে লোনলি করে দিচ্ছে বেশি।
Exactly, that's what I was
For
saying.
example,
yeah, please go ahead.
excuse me, sorry. For example, you could see 5,000 people, you got 5,000 friends, another like 10,000 followers on Instagram or Facebook, so. But in terms of the physically, you don't have no one.
Yeah,
like
that's all virtual, as you were saying. The whole world is virtual. It's basically quality versus quantity. So you have the quantity of friends, but who are your quality friends?
কিছুদিন আমি আগে একটা প্রোগ্রামে গেছি, সারপ্রাইজ আপনার, একমাত্র আমি ফোনটা রেখে পকেটে দেখতেছিলাম আমার আশেপাশে অ্যারাউন্ড 10 people around me, everyone is like every single person is busy with their mobile phones. একটা ফ্যামিলির মা বাবা এবং কি their son as well, one and only, so they're in the same room, but they are so busy with আপনার mobile phone.
Probably sometimes doing a Facebook live, or sometimes probably taking pictures or doing a video. যে ভিডিওটা পোস্টও করা হয় না, শুধু ভিডিওটা করা হয়, ফোনেই থেকে যায়। তো এটা নিয়ে যেমন আমি একটা কথা বলছিলাম সেদিন, আমি অনেকদিন আগে, এটা আমার একটা মেইন পেট পিভ অ্যাজ ওয়েল, যে মানুষজন যখন খেতে বের হয়, প্রায় সময় প্ল্যান করে বের হয়, কিন্তু বের হওয়ার সাথে সাথে খাওয়াটা সার্ভ হওয়ার পরপরই ফোনগুলো বের হয়ে আসে, খাবার ছবি তুলতে শুরু করা হয়। এরপর ছবি তোলার পরে সবাই বিজি হয়ে যায় যার যার সোশ্যাল মিডিয়াতে খাওয়া পোস্ট করার জন্য, যে আমি খেতে বের হয়েছি, আমি এটা খাচ্ছি। কিন্তু যে কারণটা কি, আমরা কেন একসাথে খেতে আসছি? এটা তো একটা এনগেজমেন্টের জন্য, একটা কানেকশনের জন্য।
Basically we are just showing off to just আমরা people কে show up করতেছি, we are really happy যে ভার্চুয়াল লাইফে দেখাচ্ছে আমি ওরকম happy, কিন্তু in terms of আপনার যদি রিয়েলিটিতে জানো, none of them person are really happy.
Yeah, so that's as I was saying, it's kind of, we are so worried about the virtual popularity or the perceived popularity in the social media. We are bothered about that, যে আমরা মানুষের আমাদের ব্যাপারে কি ধারণা সেটা নিয়ে আমরা অনেক বেশি ব্যতিব্যস্ত। আমি কি ভাবছি আমাকে নিয়ে, আমি সেটা ভাবছি না। আমার কি দরকার,
we are worried about people, yeah. যে পাশে বাংলাদেশে যেটা কথা বলে না, পাশে লোকে কিছু বলে or something like that.
হ্যাঁ, তো এটা আবার ওই বেসিক একটা ইনস্টিংক্ট আমাদের, যেটা আমি বলেছিলাম যে there are two things that dominates every action that you do. Your need for connection, যেটা আমরা করছি, কানেক্ট করছি মানুষের সাথে এভাবে, at the same time fear of rejection. তো জিনিসটা হয় কি, যে যখন আমার মনে হয় যে আচ্ছা, আমি যদি মানুষকে না দেখাই যে আমি একজন পপুলার মানুষ, মানুষকে যদি না দেখাই যে I have a perceived popularity and acceptability around people around me, probably people might think I'm a loser. তো সেই জায়গাটার থেকেও যে ওকে, সে করছে, তারও এরকম অবস্থা, তাহলে আমাকেও করতে হবে। Sometimes we do that. Unfortunately, sometimes I have to do it, being in a position, because I like to share and send some positive vibes and share with people, and this is how we connect as well. I mean, on my radio show, people are coming forward, they know what the topic is, তারপর আমরা কথা বলি। So I try to keep myself in check, because one of the ritual I have, to be honest with you, whenever I wake up from bed in the morning, for at least 2-3 hours I don't touch my phone or go to social media. I mean, I do my other things, I read book or probably get ready, listen to some music. I don't go into social media.
You have just asked me what is the secret, because I never feel lonely, yeah? That আমি অলওয়েজ ট্রাই করি যে আমার আশেপাশে যে আপনার মানুষগুলো আছে, আমি তাদের সাথে অলওয়েজ ট্রাই করি মানে এটাকে করার জন্য, কিপ ইন টাচে থাকার জন্য, ভার্চুয়াল লাইফে। আর একটা জিনিস হচ্ছে, আমি কিছু রুলস ফলো করি, যেমন আমাকে যেটা হ্যাপি করে, I really care about it, but I don't really care what people thinks about me.
Okay.
I don't really care what
do you feel you do it like 100%, you always can do that properly? Do you feel that?
Well, probably not. I could say 80%.
That's a good percentage, I would say. That's a good percentage that have been able.
And another thing হচ্ছে, আমি আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে, আমি যে কোনো কিছু মানে ছোট থেকে শুরু করি, স্টার্ট স্মল। মানে সামটাইমস আপনি দেখবেন, আপনি যদি স্পেশালি ইউ লিভিং ইন ইউকে, ইউ নো দ্য সুপারমার্কেট, আপনি দেখবেন মানুষ মানে স্ট্যাচুর মতো যাচ্ছে, একটা মানুষ তাকে সার্ভ করতেছে, they never say hello, hi, or just give a smile.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I start something with small, you know, I met so many people and তারা আমার এখন খুব ভালো ফ্রেন্ড because of that. আমি আপনার সুপারমার্কেটে গেলে হ্যালো বলি, but not আমি তার টাইমটা ওয়েস্ট করি না, but in a short period of times, like for example, hello, how are you, how's your day, give a smile, you know what I mean? So if you start something really small, it will make the difference. Exactly. In the long run, not in the short run.
It's a way of connection to I mean, establishing a connection with that person and making him or her feel that they have some kind of worth in this world. তাদের একটা ভ্যালু আছে জীবনে। মানে সেটা হচ্ছে যে it's not about the work, it's about that as a human being you have taken notice that this person has a place in the world. I mean, it's not about what they're doing, it's more about as a human being what they are, you're taking notice of that. তো এই যে
Yes.
ব্যাপারটাই একটা মানুষকে ভালো ফিল করানো, হ্যাপিনেস তো এভাবে আসে when you're a giver. So when you are greeting them like that, because most of the time,
Yeah.
I mean, say for example, I go to listening to music, what I was listening when I was at the gym. But when I come out and when I queue up for the cashier, I always take it off because
Yeah, but
it's showing
এটা
the
তো
person that I care for them. Yeah, please.
yeah, it's kind of respect as well. আপনার এখানে especially in UK আপনার দেখবেন যে out of 100 people 20 people like listening music just like a statue
Mm.
মানে আপনি যাচ্ছে তুলে and another thing হচ্ছে আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে আমার সিক্রেট হচ্ছে get active
Sorry, key secret?
আরেকটা হচ্ছে get active মানে আপনার
Active. Okay.
like active like uh, playing badminton. I go for fishing.
Mm-hmm.
I play long tennis. And it's not about sometimes people go, you go for fishing, you just casting the bait. It's not about that. Because you'll see a new place and you'll meet new people because there's the same-minded people who are
So
going for
you
fishing
feel
as
like
well.
you have a support base, or you have friends, or at least one person in your life that whenever you feel down, you feel lonely, that you can always make some plans, go ahead and do something and get engaged or involved in some kind of. So
Yes,
you can.
yes. I would say not only one. I have few, like in terms of আপনার এই যে জিনিসটার ক্ষেত্রে
That's very good.
সাপোর্টের ক্ষেত্রে
That's very good. I think you're on the right path in terms of what you suggested, that you don't care about the perceived popularity and you don't care about the virtual world. You try to make the real connection. And at the same time, what else did you add? If you could refresh my memory a little bit. Okay, you want to get active as well. Say you want to.
yeah get out like just because sometimes আপনার মানুষ বাসায় বসে আছে they start spending like hours and hours on YouTube and Facebook
Yeah.
or doing live for nothing, you know what I mean? It
Exactly.
doesn't make any
You're right.
difference.
You're right. Because even those, there's a lot of interesting videos on social media, on Facebook. If you start watching it, because I think every day YouTube uploads around 16 hours of material a day. So you need at least 16 hours to finish everything that's been uploaded on YouTube, if you have to watch it. So এই যে ব্যাপারটা, এটা যদি আমরা প্রতিদিন চিন্তা করি, there are a lot of other things and you're just probably lying in bed and you can't even leave your bed, you're just watching. I've seen many people doing it, just unnecessarily just flicking through different pictures, news feed, or videos, or share,
And another thing is like get I don't know how to say that to you, like not hang out, like get close to the nature, like non-human. You know what I mean? Like a dog, like feed a squirrel, or that if you like a bird, if you go to the park, like sometimes it helps you to release the stress and help you to come out from the loneliness.
When was the last time?
I like not couple of days ago. Yes, I could say couple of days ago. I went to the park and I like spent 50p for the whole packet of peanuts, monkey nuts, which one people call it.
Yeah.
And I just gave it to them. You'd be surprised. The স্কুলগুলা বাংলাদেশিগুলো তো মানুষ মারে ফেলে বা মানে দেখতে একটু ভয়ঙ্কর লাগে, কিন্তু এগুলো আপনার হাতে খাবার দিলে they take it from your hand. They're so friendly.
Who?
You feel.
I mean,
you feel
which creature are you talking? Which animal are you talking?
squirrel.
Oh, squirrel. Kadbirali.
Yeah, কাঠবিড়ালি.
Exactly. I mean, they're very friendly and almost like humans when they grab the nut. বাদামটা দু হাতের মধ্যে ধরে যখন খায় তখন মনে হয় যে মানুষের মতো করে।
আর আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে যে মানে like you don't have to like spend the money. Sometimes you talk to the people. You just তোমার মন খারাপ, এই জিনিসটা হচ্ছে, এই জিনিসটা এভাবে করলে ভালো হতো. Just give some advice or give a smile. Trust me. For me, smile. According to me, I think smile is the day. It makes the difference.
If you bring some smile to someone or some kind of hope, as they say, giving, when you give and when you share, that's one of the ways of beating loneliness. This is one of the important factors. So that's really really nice. I mean, you have some of the great ways that people can. We have another caller from Bangladesh. Let me
Thank you.
quickly take this call.
Okay,
But
I'll just finish calling here.
yeah, it's a really
Thank you.
positive message. I hope everyone can get it too
Thank
or
you.
try
Bye-bye.
that. Okay, bye. Good night.
Good
So
night.
let's see. We have a caller from Bangladesh. Let's see who we have. So we have a caller from Bangladesh. Probably we try to get connected. And in the meantime, as I was saying, hello.
হ্যালো
হ্যালো, হাই। আমাদের বাংলাদেশ থেকে কল করেছেন আপনি। কে বলছেন?
তামান্না বলছি
ও তামান্না সিদ্দিকী। How are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. And I heard that you had quite a good engagement with Relax Radio today, and you were on Amin Raja's show as well. And he was saying that yeah, it was good that we found another new listener and who's already a very talented person herself. So, what do you think of today's
Actually,
topic?
topic was good, but I was waiting for your show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you will be on air from 2 p.m. But
Oh, okay,
after
yeah,
that,
which is 9, yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
start at 10 to midnight, yeah. In a way, and he's a very good singer, so you probably had listened to some good music too.
Yeah. But your topic was much good to me.
Okay, I mean, you mean the topic which is loneliness? That's what you're saying? Yeah.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি আসলে সবাই তো আসলে একা তাই না কোনো না কোনো দিক থেকে
Mm-hmm.
একাকিত্ব সবার মধ্যেই আছে তো এটা তো
কিন্তু
আসলে
ব্যাপারটা
বাদ
হচ্ছে ওই
দেওয়া
যে
যাবে না
একাকিত্বর যে জায়গাটা আমি মাঝে মাঝে বলি যে বিইং অ্যালোন, এটা আবারও বলছি, একটু আগে বললাম যে একটা হচ্ছে একা, যেমন আমি আমার সারাদিনের মধ্যে বেশ অনেকটা সময় কিন্তু আমার মনে হয় যে বিইং অ্যালোন, দ্যাটস আ গিফট অ্যান্ড দিস ইজ আ ব্লেসিং অ্যাজ ওয়েল ইন ডিসগাইজ।
that's not loneliness
That's
that
not
is
loneliness.
you are yeah
Exactly.
বা কোনো একটা ওয়েতে গিয়ে সবার মধ্যেই কিন্তু একটা একাকিত্ব আছে কেউ এক্সপ্রেস করে কেউ সেটা এক্সপ্রেস করে না
আপনার
এখন
পার্সোনাল
বিষয় হচ্ছে
এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে এই একাকিত্বটা কিরকম? I mean, if you talk about anything that you have watched or even from your own life, you can share with us if you're comfortable.
উম, গতকাল যেমন একটা কথা বলছিলাম যে আমি আমার ফ্রেন্ডদের সাথে সেভাবে মিশতে পারি না এবং ওদের কাছে মনে হয় যে আমি অনেক শো অফ করছি বাট আমাদের কাজের শিডিউলটা এরকম যে আমরা আসলে ওদের সাথে সবার সাথে আমরা মিলতে পারি না বা মেশা সম্ভব হয় না জাস্ট লাইক ঈদের কথা যদি বলি আমি একটা ঈদ ছুটি পাই
হ্যাঁ,
আরেকটা ঈদের ছুটি থাকে না হ্যাঁ
আচ্ছা,
তো ঈদের সময় সবাই ঘুরতে যাচ্ছে
এক্স্যাক্টলি।
কিন্তু আমি বলছি যে আমার ডিউটি আছে আমার ডিউটিতে যেতে হচ্ছে
হুম,
তো ওদের কাছে বিষয়টা তখন হয় যে ও ওর তো খালি ডিউটি আর ডিউটি
হুম।
ও খালি কাজ আর কাজ হ্যাঁ, ভাবের ভাবের রাজ্য থাকে এরকম একটা
Arrogance.
বিষয়
Sometimes they feel that
হ্যাঁ
you have bit of an
হ্যাঁ
arrogance as well. হ্যাঁ।
এক্স্যাক্টলি তো সেই জায়গা থেকে একটা ডিস্টেন্স তৈরি হয় তো দেখা যায় যে অনেকদিন পর যখন আমি সময় বের করে হয়তো তাদের সাথে মিট করতে গেলাম বা বসলাম
হুম, হুম,
সেই সময় দেখা যায় যে তখন ওই যে একটা ডিস্টেন্স তৈরি হয়েছে সেটা আর মেকআপ হয় না
হ্যাঁ।
ঠিক
কিন্তু
ওই মুহূর্তে মনে হয় যেন যে হ্যাঁ আমি একা মানে ওই জায়গাটাতে তখন মনে হয় যে কেউ নেই
আর
বা
সেটা
কেউ
ছাড়াও কালকে
বুঝতে
আপনি যে কথাটা
হ্যাঁ
বলেছিলেন ইন টার্মস অফ যে কাউকে ট্রাস্ট করার ব্যাপারটা, এখন যদি এমন কেউ নাই থাকে যার সাথে মন খুলে ট্রাস্ট করে একটা কথা বলতে পারবো, যেটা ইউ হ্যাভ সেড দ্যাট, এরপর নাদিয়া নিহাত এসেছিলেন, উনিও বললেন একই কথা। তো এই যে ব্যাপারটা, এটাও কিন্তু একটা লোনলিনেস ক্রিয়েট করে, বিকজ ইউ ডোন্ট হ্যাভ এনি এঙ্গেজমেন্ট দ্যাট ইউ ক্যান ট্রাস্ট সামওয়ান অ্যান্ড ইউ ক্যান কানেক্ট টু সামওয়ান সোল টু সোল।
এখানে একটা বিষয় কি আমি যেটা ফিল করি চাইলেও এখন আর পারি না বা করতে পারি না, বিকজ মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম আই ইনভলভ থাকতে হয় কাজে।
Mm-hmm.
এবং যেহেতু মিডিয়াতে কাজ করি, অ্যাজ ইউ নো, মিডিয়া লাইফ অ্যান্ড মিডিয়া
Yeah.
সিচুয়েশন।
Tell me about it.
So okay, I will tell you about this personally, nothing on here.
Okay. No. I'm saying that tell me about it in a sense that I know so very well, and I have. I mean, I was on television for nearly 15 years.
Yeah, I
So
know.
it's-
That's why
it's-
I
it's
was.
crazy.
I told you that you know about this.
Yeah. Thank you.
So, in that sense, দেখা যায় যে সবার সাথে কথা বলা পসিবল না, এবং সবার সাথে কথা বলতে গেলেও অনেক কিছু ভেবে কথা বলতে হয়। যে হয়তো আমি বলবো চাল, সে বানায় ফেলবে সেটাকে তাল। তো এরকম একটা বিষয় কাজ করে।
ইন্টারেস্টিং, চাল থেকে তাল।
এক্স্যাক্টলি, যেটা মিডিয়াতে হয়। তো সেটার জন্য
মিডিয়া
দেখা
না,
যায় যে
রিয়েল লাইফে
কথাটা-
হয়। আমার নিজের পার্সোনাল এক্সপেরিয়েন্সে হয়েছে যে খুব কাছের মানুষকে একটা কারণে একটা কথা বললাম, এক সপ্তাহ পরে সেটার অন্য ভার্সন শুনলাম অন্যের কাছ থেকে।
না, এটা কিন্তু একটা বিষয় হচ্ছে যে কাছের মানুষকে বলছি, সে রিয়াক্ট করছে, এটা একরকম ইস্যু।
আচ্ছা।
বাট যখন মিডিয়া রিলেটেড কোনো কিছুর মধ্যে বলবো, এটা কি করবো বা এটা কি যাবো, এই একটা বিষয় কাজ করে।
মানে
আর
ওটা হচ্ছে
তো-
টুইস্টেড ইন এ ভেরি অপরচুনিস্টিক ওয়ে, যে এমন ভাবে করা হয় যাতে
হ্যাঁ।
সুবিধাজনক হয়।
হ্যাঁ, এক্স্যাক্টলি। তো সেটা করতে করতে দেখা যায় যে এক এক সময় খুব মনে হয় যে মানে হাঁপিয়ে উঠেছি, এরকম একটা বিষয় যে আর পারছি না, এখান থেকে বের হওয়া দরকার। যেটা ইয়ে, আপনার আজকে টপিকে ছিল যে হ্যাঁ, বের হয়ে যাওয়া দরকার, হারিয়ে যাওয়া দরকার, এরকম।
না,
তো
আমি
ওরকম
যেটা
একটা
আজকের
বিষয়
টপিকের
তো-
কথাটা হচ্ছে এরকম যে আমরা মাঝে মাঝে ফিল করি যে বলি যে কোথাও যদি হারিয়ে যেতে পারতাম, তো ওই ফিলিংটা হয় এই জন্যে যে উই অ্যাকচুয়ালি ওয়ান্ট আস টু বি ফাউন্ড, যে কেউ একজন আমি যে জায়গায় আছি ঠিক সেই
সেটা
জায়গায় আমাকে
খুঁজে পাক।
খুঁজে পাক। এক্স্যাক্টলি।
হ্যাঁ, কিন্তু মানে আমার ক্ষেত্রে হয় কি যে না, আমি কোথাও হারিয়ে যেতে পারলে হারিয়েই যাই, কেউ অন্তত ওই হারিয়ে যাওয়ার সময়টাতে খুঁজে না পাক।
আচ্ছা, হ্যাঁ, sometimes we
হ্যাঁ।
need that space আমাদের নিজের, সেটা যেভাবে হোক। I mean for you, especially people who have some other outlets, say for example you are a sports presenter, তো ওখানে যখন এই যে এটা একটা কাজ, কিন্তু এটা it's a creative outlet for you, সো এটা থাকাটারও একটা বৈশিষ্ট্য আছে। যেমন একটু আগে আমাকে একজন ফোন করেছিল বাংলাদেশ থেকে, রাহমি, she was asking how come you guys are there for 5 nights a week, প্রতিদিন আসেন আপনারা একা একা অনেক সময় কথা বলেন, কেউ ফোন করে না। I'm lucky that I get, আজকে এতজন মানুষের সাথে একটা কথা হচ্ছে, এত ইন্টারেস্টিং কনভারসেশন হচ্ছে। তো মাঝে মাঝে there had been time when I didn't speak to anyone, so কিন্তু এই যে একটা ক্রিয়েটিভ আউটলেট, এমনকি I'm just expressing my mind, so people are getting some kind of, I mean in a certain way getting inspired, so that's a good enough reason.
সেটা হতেই পারে। But ওই যে তারপরেও বিষয় থাকে যে কোনো সময় কাউকে আসলে পাওয়া যায় না, এবং সেই সময়টাতে নিজেকেই নিজের
এখানে যে পাওয়া যায় না, কিসের জন্য পাওয়া যায় না, আপনি কিসের জন্য খুঁজছিলেন, মানে কি শেয়ার করতে বা কি বলতে, এবং সেই জায়গা থেকে আপনি কিভাবে সেটাকে ট্যাকেল দিলেন যখন আপনি পেলেন না কাউকে?
আম, এখানে এখন বলতে গেলে বিষয় হচ্ছে যে I got divorced.
ওকে।
So in that time আমার ফ্যামিলির সাথে আমার কিছু সমস্যা আছে, তো বলা হয়নি ফ্যামিলিকে, সেই জিনিসটা ডিসক্লোজ করা হয়নি, বলা হয়নি।
মানে পুরো
But,
ব্যাপারটাই যে your divorce is still not known to your family?
না, এখন সবাই জানে,
আচ্ছা,
কিন্তু
মানে
যখন
তখন,
আসলে ডিসাইড
হ্যাঁ।
করেছিলাম, হ্যাঁ, যখন আর কি ডিসিশনটা নেওয়া হয়েছে, সেই সময়
আচ্ছা,
আসলে সেটা বলা যাচ্ছিল না, বলা হচ্ছিল না, বিকজ
হতেই পারে।
ফ্যামিলিতে সেভাবে করে বলার মতো scope যাচ্ছি, সেটা আসলে রাইট কি রং সেটাও বোঝার জন্য একটা মানুষ প্রয়োজন, এরকম। বাট
এক্স্যাক্টলি।
বিষয়টা এমন হয়ে দাঁড়ালো আমার জন্য যে আমি আসলে কাউকে বলতে পারছিলাম না, এবং বলাটা পসিবল ছিল না, কারণ আমার সারাউন্ডিং এ যারা ছিল, আমি জানি যে আমি এখানে যদি কাউকে, মানে একজন কাউকে যদি বলি, সেটা একটা বিগ ইস্যু হয়ে মানে সবার মধ্যে বিষয়টা ছড়াবে। অ্যান্ড অ্যাজ আই এম এ মিডিয়া পার্সন, এটাকে অন্য অ্যাঙ্গেলে দেখা হবে যে maybe something fishy. That's why
আর
she
আমার মনে হয়
wants
যে
to get
above all,
divorced.
I mean
Uh,
in the perspective of Bangladesh being a woman, একটা ডিভোর্স ট্যাকল করা, যেটা এটা একদম মিডিয়াতে না থাকলেও ইটস লাইক এ ট্যাবু, যে একজন মহিলা কেন ডিভোর্সড হবে,
হ্যাঁ,
কিন্তু এটা যে একজন পুরুষ জড়িত
exactly.
আছেন, তিনি যে ডিভোর্স তিনি নিজেও হচ্ছেন, সেটা কিন্তু ব্যাপার না। এটা খুব, এই ডিসক্রিপেন্সিটা কিন্তু খুব ইন্টারেস্টিং, যে একটা ম্যারেজে তো একজন হাজবেন্ড এবং একজন ওয়াইফ আছেন, তো ডিভোর্সটা যখন হচ্ছে ওয়াইফটার ট্রিটমেন্ট টোটালি ডিফারেন্ট। মানে সে সমাজে তাকে দেখা হচ্ছে, তাকে ট্রিট করা হচ্ছে, সামটাইমস যে তাকে রেসপেক্ট দেওয়া হবে অ্যাজ এ হিউম্যান বিং, একজন মহিলা হিসাবে সবার তারই একাকিত্বর সুযোগ নেওয়ার যে একটা প্রচেষ্টা, এটা একটা ব্যাপার। কিন্তু একটা ছেলে যখন ডিভোর্স হচ্ছে, সেই ম্যারেজেরই সেই ছেলেটা, সে আরেকজন পার্টনার, তো তার ক্ষেত্রে জিনিসটা হচ্ছে যে তাকে এখন গণ্য করা হচ্ছে, ওকে হ্যাঁ এটা হয়েছে, তুমি তো এখন মুক্ত, ইউ হ্যাভ লট অফ অপশনস। সো টোটালি
Exactly.
ইটস এ টোটালি ইন্টারেস্টিং কনসেপ্ট। আমাদের এটা সামাজিকতার একটা, বলবো যে, দুর্বলতা।
হুম, এক্স্যাক্টলি। সো এখনো যেমন আমি প্রত্যেক স্টেটেই অনেক রকম বিষয় ফেস করতে হয়,
হুম হুম
তো ওগুলো আসলে কাউকে বলা যায় না বা বলা পসিবল না, কেউ বিষয়টা বোঝে না, বরং বলতে গেলে সেই জিনিসটা হয়ে যায় উল্টো রিয়াকশন। তুমি করছো কেন, তুমি জানো যে এরকম হবে, এটা তোমাকে মানতে হবে। সো সেই জায়গা থেকে আসলে আমি এখন কাউকে কিছু বলারই ট্রাই করি না।
হুম
আমার যখন খুব মানে যে ঘুরতে চলে যাই
I mean, does it really or uplift your spirit at the same time, যে একবার সাথে সাথে কি ব্যাপারটা একটা এফেক্ট হয়, আপনি ডু ইউ ফিল দ্যাট এটা কাজ করে?
হ্যাঁ, 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 কাজ করে। বিকজ আই লাভ ট্রাভেলিং, সো সেটা আমার কাছে খুব
আর একটা,
ভালো লাগে
আমার মনে
এবং
হয় একটা
নতুন
ভালো
নতুন
দিক
জায়গা।
হচ্ছে আপনি ট্রাভেলিং এর পাশাপাশি যেটা করেন, যে একটা নোভেল এক্সপেরিয়েন্স হচ্ছে, একটা নতুনত্ব এক।
হুম,
আর আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে যে ইটস এ কমিউনাল অ্যাক্টিভিটি উইচ ইউ আর ডুইং, বেসিক্যালি যে একটা ট্রাভেল গ্রুপের সাথে নতুন
হুম,
কিছু
হুম।
মানুষের সাথে
নতুন
এঙ্গেজড
নতুন
হন।
মানুষের সাথে
হ্যাঁ, একটা
এঙ্গেজ হওয়া
কানেকশন
হয়।
ক্রিয়েট
হ্যাঁ।
হয়। কিন্তু একটা জিনিস কি বলে জানেন, আমি একটা ইন্টারেস্টিং বলি ব্যাপার আপনাকে, এটা একটা রিসার্চে দেখা গেছে যে যখনই এটা চিন্তা করে দেখতে পারি, অ্যান্ড আই হ্যাভ ট্রাইড ইট মাই সেলফ অ্যাজ ওয়েল, যে যখনই আমরা যখন এই ধরনের একাকিত্বের মধ্যে পড়ি, তখন আমরা প্রথমত যেটা চেষ্টা করি, নতুন কিছু করার চেষ্টা করি মোস্ট অফ দ্য টাইম। আমরা
হুম,
যেমন আপনি একটা নতুন জায়গায় যান, একটা নতুন কিছু মানুষের সাথে পরিচিত হন। বা আরেকটা জিনিস রিসার্চে বলা আছে, এবং ইটস সাজেস্টেড অ্যান্ড রেকমেন্ডেড অ্যাজ ওয়েল, যে ট্রাই টু গো ব্যাক টু ইউর রিচুয়ালস, যে আপনার কিছু রিচুয়াল থাকবে। যেমন আমি বলি এ প্রসঙ্গে একটা কথা, যে মনে আছে গ্রামের মধ্যে একটা সময়, এখন হয় কিনা আমি জানি না, আমার অনেকদিন দেখা হয়নি সেভাবে ফার্স্ট টাইম, কিন্তু মানুষ করতো কি, যে আগুন জ্বালিয়ে শীতের রাত্রেও বা অথবা মাঝে মাঝে পরিবারের মানুষজন একত্র হয়ে আগুনের চারপাশে বসে হয়তো একটু এই যে তো উত্তাপ নিত, আবার তার পাশাপাশি হয়তো কিছু গল্প করতো, সেটা ফ্যামিলির গল্প, তাদের অভিজ্ঞতা, বা একটা সময় যে আমরা ছোটবেলায় ঠাকুরমার ঝুলি বা
হুম,
এই ধরনের যে ব্যাপারটা, কনসেপ্টটা এসছে, যে আমরা জানি যে দাদা দাদি নানা নানি তারা বসে ছোটদেরকে গল্প বলে, এটা নিয়ে, এটা একটা কমন কনসেপ্ট ছিল। তো এই যে
হুম,
ব্যাপারটা এখন মানুষের মাঝখানে, এই যে এঙ্গেজমেন্টের যে ব্যাপারটা, রিচুয়ালে ফিরে যাওয়ার যে ব্যাপারটা, এটা কিন্তু অনেক সময় হচ্ছে না। আমরা বারবারই নতুন, আমাদের কাছে এত অপশন, আচ্ছা এটা হচ্ছে না, আরেকটা ট্রাই করি। কিন্তু বলা হয় যে যতই হার্ড টাইম হোক আপনার, ইউ উড গো ব্যাক টু ইউর রিচুয়াল ওয়েদার ইটস এ গুড টাইম অর ইভেন ইফ ইউ আর গোয়িং থ্রু আ হার্ড টাইম। তো সেটার জন্য এক্সাম্পল দেওয়া হচ্ছিল, যেমন ফ্রেঞ্চদের ক্ষেত্রে দেখা যায় ডাইনিং ইজ এ ভেরি বিগ থিং ফর দ্যাম, যে ওরা খাওয়া দাওয়া যখন করে, দ্যাটস দ্য ওয়ে অফ এঙ্গেজিং পিপল। ওদের ক্যাফে লাইফটা খুব বড়, যে দেখা যায় খেতে যায়, ওই খাওয়া শেষ করতে
হুম,
তারা 2 ঘন্টা সময় নেয়, এবং শেষ করার পর আরও কিছুক্ষণ বসে, আর সেই সময়টা তারা কোনো ফোন টোন বের করে না, তারা কিন্তু আড্ডা দিতে থাকে। আড্ডা, ওদের কিন্তু এই ক্যাফের আড্ডাটা খুব পপুলার, যেটা আমাদের দেশে ওই যে কফি হাউসের আড্ডার যে ব্যাপারটা। তো এই জিনিসটা আসছে কিন্তু রিচুয়াল থেকে, যে দেখা গেল মানুষের মন খারাপ, আমরা যে কফি হাউসের ব্যাপারটা বলি, এরকম আমরা হয়তো অনেক পুরনো মুভিতে দেখবো, ঋত্বিক ঘটক বা এই ধরনের কিছু, দেখা যাচ্ছে যে খুব স্ট্রেস ফ্যামিলিতে, অভাব অনটনের সংসার, সেখানকার একটা ছেলে বের হয়ে প্রতিদিন সন্ধ্যাবেলা কিন্তু বন্ধুদের মাঝখানে গিয়ে আড্ডায় বসছে আবার। তো বসলে ওই রিচুয়ালটাতে যখন ফিরে যায়, তার হার্ড টাইম থেকে সে বেরিয়ে চলে আসে। তো আপনার কি কোনো এরকম কোনো রিচুয়াল আছে, যেটা আপনার মনে হয় যে
হ্যাঁ,
আপনি
রিচুয়াল।
এটা করে যান সব সময়, যত কিছু হোক?
হ্যাঁ, এটা করি বলতে হচ্ছে যে আমার ফ্যামিলি অনেক বড়
হুম হুম
এবং আমরা অনেক কাজিন। তো এই এখন এই মুহূর্তে আশেপাশে যে কাজিনরা আছে, দেখা যায় যে উইকেন্ডে বা উইকেন্ড নাইটে আমরা সবাই একসাথে আড্ডা দিতে বসছি
হুম
এবং আমাদের কিছু নিজস্ব কিছু গেমস আছে, আমরা খেলি। খাওয়া দাওয়া, সারা রাত মুভি দেখি, খেলি, এরকম
বাহ!
একটা আড্ডার আয়োজন
হুম,
হয়। এটা করা হয়। কিন্তু তারপরে ওই যে বিষয়টা যে বললাম যে সব কথা কিন্তু আসলে সবাইকে শেয়ার করা
হুম,
যায় না। হয়তো টাইমটা স্পেন্ড করা যায়,
হুম,
টাইমটা পার করা যাচ্ছে, কিন্তু কথা যে শেয়ার করার বিষয় সেটা হয় না। আরেকটা বিষয় হচ্ছে ফ্রেন্ড সার্কেল আমার আসলে মানে আমি ছোট থেকে ছেলে মেয়ে মানে কোএডুকেশনেই পড়ে এসেছি।
হুম, হুম।
তো আমার ছেলে মেয়ের মানে আমি ফ্রেন্ড ফ্রেন্ড হিসেবেই
যে
চিন্তা করি যে
পার্থক্যটা, হ্যাঁ।
হ্যাঁ ওই জিনিসটা কখনো আমার মধ্যে কাজ করে না। বাট তারপরেও দেখা যায় যে আমার মধ্যে করছে না, কিন্তু অন্যদের মধ্যে তো ঠিকই করছে।
হুম, এক্সাক্টলি।
ওদের মেন্টালিটি তো চেঞ্জ করতে আর পারছি
হুম,
না।
হুম,
এবং পাশাপাশি হয়তো আমি ভাবছি যে আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে ও মেয়ে, ও লিস্ট বুঝবে যে
হুম,
হ্যাঁ আমি কোন জায়গা থেকে এখান থেকে সরে আসলাম বা
হুম,
এই কাজটা কেন করতে যাচ্ছি। কিন্তু দেখা যাচ্ছে যে না, টিপিক্যালি সেই আহ মানে মেন্টাল ব্যারিয়ার থেকে সে বের হতে পারে নাই, তার চিন্তাধারা ওখানেই আছে। আর আমি আসলে যে শাড়ি কাপড় গহনার গল্প আমি করতে পারি না।
হুম, হুম।
তো যার কারণে দেখা যায় যে সেই যে একটা মানে ওই জায়গা থেকেও
খুব
আমার
মজার একটা
মেন্টালি একটা
শাড়ি কাপড় গহনার গল্প, ভালো বলেছেন।
একদম আমি এভাবেই বলি আসলে
হুম,
মানে
হুম,
সেই গল্প আমি করতে পারি না। তো দেখা যায় যে সেখান থেকে একটা ডিসটেন্স থাকে। তো আলটিমেটলি আমার নিজস্ব পার্সোনাল কথাবার্তা যদি থাকে,
হুম।
তো সেগুলো আসলে আমার মধ্যেই রেখে দিতে হয়। সেটা আসলে বলার মতো
না,
কোনো
আমার মনে হয় যে
পারসন
এখানে
খুঁজে পাওয়া
এক্ষেত্রে
যায় না।
একটা
অ্যান্ড
অসমতা এত বেশি প্রকট হয়ে দাঁড়ায় আপনাদের ক্ষেত্রে, কারণ আপনারা যখন কথা বলছেন, যখন দুজন মানুষ এমন একজন মানুষের সাথে আপনার সেন্স অফ ইন্ডিপেন্ডেন্স, আপনার একটা প্রফেশনাল লাইফ আছে, সেখান থেকে ইউ হ্যাভ এনাফ রিজন নট টু গেট বক ডাউন ইন দোজ স্মল ডিটেলস অফ লাইফ, এই যে শাড়ি কাপড় গহনা। তো সেখানে তাদের হয়তো দেখা যায় যে তাদের এটাই লাইফ, যে বাইরে এর ধরনের এঙ্গেজমেন্ট নেই, বাচ্চাদের সাথে সময় কাটাচ্ছে, স্টার টিভি খুলে বসে আছে, আর তারপর ওখানে কে কি পড়ছে, কোন শাড়িটা বের হচ্ছে নতুন, ওটা নিয়ে চিন্তা। তো এখানে একটা একটা মজার জোক মনে হয়ে গেল, আমি যদি একটু ইয়ে হয় আপনাকে একটু সাথে বলে দিই, সবার উদ্দেশ্যেই বলি।
অবশ্যই।
আমি পড়েছিলাম কিছুদিন আগে, জোকটা আমার খুব ভালো লেগেছে। দেখা গেল কি যে একজন বলছে যে আজকে হঠাৎ ফেসবুকের একটা আপডেট চেক করতে করতে পাশের বাড়িতে ঢুকে পড়লাম ভুলে, আমার নিজের বাড়ি মনে
হ্যাঁ।
করে। তো মনে করে যখন বাসায় ঢুকে চেয়ারে বসলাম, দেখি পাশের বাড়ির যে বৌদিটা, উনি করলেন কি, আমার কাছে এক কাপ চা দিয়ে গেলেন স্টার টিভি সিরিয়ালটা দেখতে দেখতে। মানে ওর হাজবেন্ড মনে করে চাটা দিয়ে গেছে, কিন্তু ওয়াইফটা, হ্যাঁ। আবার এদিকে আসল যিনি ওই বাড়ির যে হাজবেন্ড, উনি বাইরে থেকে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ চেক করতে করতে ঢুকলেন। তো ঢুকে দেখলো কি, আমি ইতিমধ্যে বসে চা, মানে
আমার
সে চা খাচ্ছে ফেসবুক দেখতে, সে হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ দেখে বলে কি, ও সরি সরি, ভুল বাসায় চলে এসেছি বলে আবার বের হয়ে গেল হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ দেখতে দেখতেই। তো সে তার নিজের বাসা থেকে বের হয়ে গেল, আরেকজন ফেসবুক দেখতে দেখতে আরেকজনের বাসায় গেল, আরেকজন স্টার টিভি দেখতে দেখতে চা দিল আরেকজনের হাজবেন্ডকে। তো এই সিচুয়েশন কিন্তু আমাদের লাইফ কিন্তু এখন এই জায়গায়।
আসলেই তাই। তো যাই হোক আপনার শোটা ভালো লাগছে, কালকেই শুনেছি, কিন্তু থাকে না অনেক কিছু বলে যে আই সুদিং। তো আমার কাছে আপনার শোটা হয়েছে এখন কি বলবো,
ইয়ার
ইয়ার
সুদিং,
সুদিং,
হ্যাঁ।
কানে শুনতে।
I'm really grateful and I'm happy that at least someone feels that they can connect in certain way. তো আমার কাজটা সার্থক। থ্যাংক ইউ তামান্না।
Yeah, thank you. Take care. Talk to you later.
Oh, for a radio, and as you know, she would be a good source for you if you'd like to know more about cricket, because she's a sports presenter. And I already have a few messages on the same phone where we get connected, and someone has written, hi, I just listen and I watch your shows. I would like to know where you guys base because I love to work with you guys, from Karindam. Okay, that's from yesterday, I guess. And so far, so I don't feel there's any new messages. Okay. So yeah, that was Karinder from yesterday who wanted to get involved with our shows, and yeah, that's always good that we can ignite that interest in you, that you feel like that you want to get connected and talk to us. So you still have the lines open. It's 07852 473 let me see. We have Rami's message. Rami is saying, I feel like I would love to have conversations with you, Tamannapu, and I'm absolutely loving the way to speak. Exactly. See, that's what we are talking about, connection. And Rami, uh, I would say credit goes to you, as we were talking about taking the first step in terms of, or be brave and bold and take the first step. So, Tamanna, there's someone who's really interested to know you more and get connected. Rami definitely wants to get engaged in a sense where she can have a meaningful conversation with someone. So she can see a friend in you. Because sometimes we want that person who has that, probably that personal depth that they can connect to on a certain level. এটা কিন্তু ওই যে গানটা একটা বললাম না যে বাংলাদেশে একটা নতুন র্যাপ শুনেছি লেভেলে নাই, এই ধরনের কোনো ব্যাপার না। যেটা হচ্ছে দ্যাট ক্রিয়েটস ডিটাচমেন্ট, যেখানে আমরা ফিল করি যে যাকে আমরা ফ্রেন্ড হিসেবে চাচ্ছি তাকে একইভাবে পাচ্ছি না। সো রামি ডেফিনেটলি ওয়ান্ট টু গেট কানেক্টেড and make that connection with Tamanna Siddiqui, a sports presenter. Rami is someone in her mid-20s. So I think she said she's below the mid-20s. So yeah, Rami, best of luck. And let us know, two friends, when you become best of friends, because we were talking about best of friends the other day. So if you can do that, and if that really works out, please share the secret. That'd be great to know. And I'm happy that we could be some kind of catalyst in that friendship if that really flourishes. So best of luck to both of you. And we have Salma Chaudhary, who's watching from America, I guess, and Sadiq Chaudhary, and Shompa Dewan in London. She is watching, and it's lovely to see. Ganta Shunechi. Ganta Tamanna Siddiqui, Ganta Shunechi. I don't know which song you're talking about. So you can let us know. Oh, Ganta Shunichi. Okay, I think you're talking about Level and I. Okay, yeah, that rap. Oh my God, tell me about it. যেখানে মাথার মধ্যে জুতো পরে বলা হচ্ছে যে আমার জুতোর মূল্য তোমার জীবনের থেকে বেশি, তো আমার কিছু বলার নেই। I really would like to keep my mouth shut on that. So that's I don't know who was thinking and what he was thinking or she was thinking when they were writing that lyrics. তো কালকে একটা গান we started playing and I came across that song. I found it. It was requested by Tasinun Sifat from Bangladesh. And it was a lovely song. I think it's time to listen to that song because we couldn't hear the song, the full version of the song. It was a lovely song called Bondho Janala. Level and I, exactly Tamanna Siddiqui, that's the thing. So যার সাথে কানেক্ট করা যায়, but problem is মানুষটা লেভেলে নাই. I think we can use that. How about that? That's interesting, right? So we can do that. Let's do that. Probably in Relax with Ershad. এখন থেকে আমরা এটা দিয়ে কথা বলবো, যখনই এমন কিছু হবে যেটা আমাদের সাথে মিলবে না তখন আমরা বলতে পারি যে well unfortunately এটা লেভেলে নাই. So we can try that. So at least ওদের গানটা একটু মিনিংফুল হবে, কিন্তু বাকি জায়গায় যাচ্ছি না যেখানে জুতোর মূল্য মানুষের জীবনের থেকে বেশি, সো ওইদিকে না যাই। তো এখন একটা গান কালকে আমার মনে হয় যে কালকে আমরা শুনতে শুরু করেছিলাম কিন্তু পুরোটা শুনতে পারিনি, বন্ধ জানালা বাই শিরোনামহীন। অ্যালবামটা শিরোনামহীন একটা know about new songs, and this is a lovely song. Let's have a listen. That was Bondho Janala by Shirunamhin, a lovely song requested by Tasinun Sifat from Bangladesh, and that was a good song. And Dalia Nazdin, you said enjoying the song. Tamanna Siddiqui had left a message for all of you, all of us, and for the show as well. Anyway, আজকের মতো বিদায়, সকালে 7টায় ডিউটি, so need some sleep. Take care, catch you later. Definitely, Tamanna, have a good day ahead. Already, I think what you said, আজকের মতো বিদায় সকালে, exactly. So the day has already started within a few hours. I think you have to get ready for work. So best of luck. Have a great day, and have a positive one. And I hope you and Rami get connected some one way or another. আর আজকের যে অনুষ্ঠানটাতে we have been talking about how lonely we are, because the topic was sometimes we feel like we want to disappear. So it doesn't mean like in terms of Tamanna, when she said she truly feels like she wants to disappear because she wants to find that space. But for most of the time when we say that we want to disappear, but the thing is what we actually want is to be found by someone who can really understand in what position or where we are exactly at that point of our lives. So this is what it's all about. And when you don't find that, when you don't find someone who find you at that place where you are, how difficult, or it could be a very hard place where you're in, it could be a stressful place, it could be a place where you're feeling down. And unless someone finds you there, unless you can have that connection, that creates kind of loneliness. Because loneliness, as I was saying, is that difference between the connections we already have and sometimes is not what you want. Because despite having so many other people, so many different connections in our life, we still can feel lonely. And the worst is when you're in a relation, say it could be even a romantic relation, when you're in a relation and you feel that you are still lonely, sense of connection, any kind of relation. And even after having that relation, if you feeling of loneliness, I think that's a very worst place to be, and that can't be even worse. So we already have people who have engaged through Facebook Live and people listening on their on their app of Relax Radio. I thank you all for joining in and supporting the radio and our shows day in, day out, because we come here, as Rami was asking, what's the secret behind that? Because we want to be out there with and for the people who supports us, and sometimes people who find some kind of refuge, some kind of happiness, or sometimes some kind of enlightenment through some discussions. It's not that something I'm saying, I'm enlightening you, but through your own discussion and how you share your own experience, sometimes you feel enlightened when you talk about it. Because sometimes when we keep it inside, it's just in our mind, but the moment we take it out, we listen to us talking about that, that brings a lot of other solutions which we never thought about before. And people, when they're listening to you, I think they make the comments and their feedback that can make the difference for you as well, because suddenly that light bulb moment happens, and when you see, okay, why didn't I think about that? And this is one of the ways, I guess, that definitely would help you. So everyone who had been on Facebook Live and listening through the app of Relax Radio, and they had shared their experiences about loneliness or what they do to beat the feeling of loneliness, I thank you all. You still have time, by the way. I still have 11 minutes left. You can still pick up the phone 07852473473, and we can still listen to your experiences of loneliness, or how you keep yourself away from loneliness or having that feeling of loneliness. If you can share, it's always helpful. Like we had Munir Al-Haider from London, who was sharing and who was confidently saying that he doesn't have the feeling of loneliness in his life. There's not only one person that he connects with, there are quite a number of people that he feels he's connected to, and he always have meaningful conversation to fall back on, meaningful activities to fall back on, and people he can trust, he can share things, and he's very grateful to have those people in his life. And I believe that's a really amazing place to be, and he's one of those lucky people. So it was good to hear from him and what he does in terms of keeping himself away from loneliness. So even this activity of this communal activity of listening to this radio together, watching this Facebook Live, or even when I see that there are some people who are watching it, I can see that this engagement, this indirect and sometimes this invisible engagement that we have, that stops me, even me, on a personal level from being lonely or feeling lonely. Because even though you can call it virtual, but the thing is that you are a living human being who is there, out there, who's listening to me. And sometimes, if you feel like it, if you feel that you have this urge of letting your voice heard, or letting the voice of your feelings heard, then you come forward and pick up the phone, and we can have a real connection, and that's amazing. So I'm grateful to have you all through the shows in my life, and it's a blessing. So tomorrow when we come, we talk about something else, and we'll find out some more solutions to it. So far we have talked about detachment, so far we have talked about best friends, expectations, and self-worth, a lot of interesting things. And today we talked about loneliness because everything is connected, to be honest. There are different sides of one coin. So when we discuss one thing over and over again, the same thing comes up. And I want it, to be honest with you, I want it that way, because then when I do a show on particular topic, when you share your experiences, then it keeps coming over and over again. So it refreshes your mind. Because sometimes when we listen, when we read, when we hear a music, a piece of music, it doesn't register in our mind straight away with one listen. So you need to revisit, you need to listen to it over and over again. So that's why these ideas we're talking about, the experiences we're sharing, the more we talk about it, and I'm really grateful to people like Tamanna Siddiqui who are bold enough to be free in their own spirit, in their own skin, to share their personal experiences. Even she shared something very personal, that where or in what point of her life she felt like she needs to share experience with someone when she was going through divorce, and how she tackled it. I'm sure many people who are listening at the moment, you have been through similar situations in your life. It could be a divorce, it could be anything similar to that, it could be a breakup. But how there's one person who survived that successfully, and who had tackled it, and who had shared her own ways of doing it, this is inspiring. And I think we can listen to people like them. And any person, whoever you are, your own experiences are unique. And when you have tackled something successfully, that's good enough reason to have listened to that, and at the same time getting inspired, and good enough reason to find a solution through it. So I thank you all, whoever come forward and listen, share your own experiences with us. I couldn't thank you enough, and I believe I would like to share a song with you before we leave today. How about that? Because people are listening at the moment or watching me. I think we can quickly listen to a song, and that's how we would end tonight's show. So everyone, on that note, I hope you keep well. Have a great rest of the night today. I mean tonight, not today. Well, same thing. And tomorrow when we come, we talk about something new, and we'll have the listeners around with their support, with their interest, and we'll talk about something new. So in the countries where it's already the next day, I hope when you start your day, you have a positive start, and you have something positive before you go to bed to your special one. Share with them one good thing that you love about them. Try that. Anyone. That could be your family member, that could be your partner, that could be your husband or your wife or your spouse. Just share with them one good thing that you love about them today, that you have experienced with them and you really loved it. Just share that one thing with them, and try to find out how good you feel. This is one of the rituals you can develop probably, and I try to do it. I'm so fortunate to share something like this with you every weeknight. So every time I finish my show, I always have something good to talk about my listeners, and that's a very good ritual that I am really getting used to, and it's kind of a good addiction to me as well, that I feel like I share with you, and probably you can share with me too what you like about the show, what you like about what we talk about, what I talk about, what other people who share their experiences. We can probably establish that ritual if you think that it's worthwhile, and we can see how positivity, a message of positivity, can change our lives and refresh our brain, because we are so engulfed by all kind of negative emotions, negative feelings, talking behind people's feel the influence, definitely feel that vibe in your own life. So my positive message to you all today, and one good thing that I love about all my listeners, that they all are really unique in their own way, and they have real value to their life, and they realize that, which is a beautiful thing. I have spoken to Munirul Haidar, Tamanna Siddiqui, Rami. Everyone is so aware of the self-worth, and they're trying their best. The worst thing is that when you're not aware what's going on in your life, the best thing is that when you know or when you're aware and you try to take the step forward, you try to find that solution, you make an effort, that's a very good start. So that's one thing I love about you today, and that made me realize. So if there's anything else you love about the show, you can always comment, you can let us know, you can even call me on the number you already see on the, and we have 3 minutes left. I would left today's show wishing you all good night, and with the hope of seeing you tomorrow with a positive day. So take care, everyone. It's a song from Orthohin, Jodi Konodin. And on that note, I'd like to sign off for tonight. Take care.
আমার জন্যে যদি ভুলের বসে শুনতে ইচ্ছে করে আমার গাওয়া গানগুলো যা ছিল তোমায় নিয়ে, নিঝুম রাতে যখন পৃথিবী ঘুমিয়ে তুমি মনের ভেতর শোনো গান চুপটি করে, কেউ জানবে না যে